All right. Back for hour 3 of Afternoon Delight. I have Keaton from Keaton Talks Sports. Welcome, Keaton.
How you doing, Dan? Thanks for having me on.
Man, hey, thanks for coming on. Keaton, for those of you who don't know, usually when I bring on a guest, I usually give an outline, usually have some questions. I didn't do that with Keaton. And the reason why is I don't even know where to start. I don't know. Can we first of all can we do this here? I hate to do this, but I have to ask because I ran into another Ohio State fan. You got your Ohio State shirt on. Can we ask about it, or is that a topic we can't? Is that no?
Sure. Yeah, let's get to it, man.
All right, you tell me because I didn't see the game. I heard about it. They were my favorite. I really thought this would be the year they would go undefeated. You said it. Like, is this just? I mean, give me your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I mean, I said going into this game that this will be a high-scoring game. Now, like Ohio State, I was not expecting Oregon to put up 32 points, especially on our defense, the way our defense has been playing so far through 5 games. But Oregon's offense, we knew going in that they had a high-powered offense, and obviously both defenses were able to stop each other's offense. But, I mean, we had opportunities to win that game in Oregon, and it was kind of a back-and-forth contest to the end of the game where Howard had the ball. I believe it was like 7 seconds left, and then he slid with the ball, and time ran off. And we still had one timeout, so we could have just kicked a long field goal there. Just why not? I mean, we were already in range. I guess it was too far for the kicker. But, yeah, I mean, it was a great game. But, I mean, I think this is a loss Ohio State needed, to be honest, because I didn't really like the way we played last week against Iowa, even though we won 35-7. But it was 7-0 through 3.5 quarters until we actually opened up offensively. So, I mean, I think this is a good loss for Ohio State. I don't think it's going to put us back too far, obviously. I mean, number 2 versus number 3. So, I mean, I still think, well, obviously, both teams will be in the playoffs when it's all said and done. So, it's just a matter of us fixing some of the mental errors, like at the end of the game there, knowing how much time's left in the clock and all that.
I saw it was 5th in both polls. Andre says Ryan Day's clock is ticking.
Yeah, you ain't lying. And especially if you don't. I mean, look at the team we have compared to other years. Like, this is like your best shot to win a national title.
Did you know who was on the Ohio State campus this weekend? Did you hear about this?
I don't think I heard. No.
He was actually watching a volleyball game, but a former alumni, Mike Vrabel.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. There was a little chatter because actually what I saw was that he was attending an Ohio State volleyball game, and there was like, how is this guy not in the NFL? But my thought process was, since I saw that right after Ohio State lost, I was like, that would be very interesting if Ryan Days does, which by the way, I don't think that's. If he loses to Michigan this year, then yes. But
that's a different, for sure.
What's SCO Ducks? Is that I don't know what SCO means.
I do have to admit though, Oregon's got some of the sickest uniforms probably in college football.
Oh yeah, dude, I've been telling you this, like Denver Gator, who I haven't seen today, but we chatted. He's super high on that quarterback who's going to play. When everything's said and done, the Oregon quarterback's going to start something like 70 games total at 3 different schools. He was at Oklahoma, and I think it was South Florida. And now I don't know what kind of an NFL grade he has because he's a smaller guy, not a big arm, but I think his name's Dylan Gabriel, but I mean, he's big numbers, a lot of potential. Like they're building something there in Eugene. Like when they lost Bo Nix and all, they lost a lot of guys in the NFL draft. They're in a situation where they can reload. Like it's not like you guys lost to like a 2-4 team or something. Like that's a really, really, really good team. So
right.
All right. Enough bad things here because I gotta. Yeah. That dude is. By the way, they tried to poach him. I think Alabama tried to poach him before they settled on. I can't think of the guy's name from Washington. He had an offer to go to another SEC school. I'm drawing a blank on who it is, but yeah, he's doing something. They're building something in Eugene, like that's on the verge of becoming a powerhouse again. So this is not a terrible loss, but I did want to bring it up because I expected an undefeated season. Andre asked this question to me, but I'm going to ask Keaton first here because Keaton, by the way, I do want to say this before I ask this question here. I love the throwbacks. Why don't they play them? Use them more. Those are sweet.
I think they should. I mean, I don't really like the all blueberry, uniforms. Like, if you're gonna go blue uniform, go with the gray pants. You know what I'm saying, or go with the red. I mean, that's just the best ones out there.
Dude, I'll tell you, I love the throwback. All right, so I got that out of the way because the Patriots banners in the background. I love the Patriots throwbacks. All right, Keaton's a Patriots fan. He's an AFC East guy, so he has some inside knowledge here. He will give you the correct prediction here. Andre asked, do you think Breece Hall has a big game tonight?
I mean, tonight's game is going to be interesting because, like I said, I mean, the Jets fired Robert Saleh, so like Dan mentioned, like normally a team that fires a coach comes out and they usually win that first game with their new head coach. Now, it's not guaranteed because, I mean, Buffalo obviously lost the last couple games as well, so they're going to be looking to go in here and try to get a W as well. I mean, if you're talking about Breece in terms of having a big game, and he probably should have a big game, in my opinion, just because he's that type of dude that can go off any night. Obviously, he didn't really do much last week against a good Viking defense, but, I mean, Buffalo does have some cracks on that defense and all that stuff, and then we don't know if Josh Allen, how 100% is he? I mean, I know he got cleared off of concussion, but like still, like how 100% is he going to be be effective for his team? So, I mean, I do expect Breece Hall to have a big game tonight. If you're talking in terms of fantasy points, yeah, I think he will have a big game tonight. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win. It's just going to be a matter of can those other guys on the other team or on that team step up. We already know what Rodgers can do. The defense is solid. It's just going to be a matter of coaching, execution, all that stuff. So it should be a good game. Definitely should be a good game, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing who comes out on top here.
Yeah, Andre. I do think he has a big game, but I think I've been saying that every single week. I have a major man crush on Breece Hall. It was kind of funny because I watched him play it at Iowa State, and I thought that this was just the guy I absolutely loved. It was kind of funny because I watched Brock Purdy play on the same Iowa State team, and I didn't think Brock Purdy could play in the NFL, but so I'm wrong there. But I've had a huge Breece Hall crush for a long time, and I'm just going to stick with it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great game. I'm excited to see it, and I want to switch gears in the AFC East, and I only watched bits and pieces, but I know you watched the whole thing here. Keaton, give me an evaluation on the Patriots and Drake May. I want to hear your thoughts here.
Now, I was praying before the game that the offensive line can hold up and just protect them. I think offensive line did a decent enough job. Now, he did take some hits in the pocket. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that, but then I think the offense looks rejuvenated in terms of being able to move the ball consistently down the field. Drake May looked composed in the pocket, no hesitation whatsoever. If you look at Brissett and Brissett, when he played the first 4 games, you can tell that the Patriots were a little bit more conservative in terms of the play calling and then the inability to move the ball down the field. If Drake May, I think, honestly, like I said before, I think Drake May should have started, or they should have started Drake May against the Dolphins. A depleted team, probably not guaranteed, but we probably have a better chance to win that game. At least get a shot down to try to score at the end there. compared to Brissett, who just isn't able, in terms of the physical gifts like May has, ability to move the ball with his legs. So, yeah, May, I'm excited for the rest of the season for him. I mean, I think it's the right move. I wasn't expecting him to play this early on. I thought it was going to be like later on in the season or even potentially sit a year. But he definitely surprised me. I mean, 3 touchdown passes. I mean, the Patriots look, like I said, the offense looks a lot better with him on the field. That's for sure. I mean, the defense I was a little disappointed with, obviously. But, I mean, you're going up against arguably the best offense in football in Houston Texans that put up 40 points. So, but I wasn't expecting to win the game. I was just trying to see how Drake May basically played and all that stuff, what he did in North Carolina translate to the NFL. But I thought he looked decent in his first game.
Yeah, let me throw out something a little crazy here. New England goes to London next week. They play Jacksonville, and I think that if New England wins, I think we could see a coaching change in Jacksonville. All right, I really think that we could see a coaching change.
For Jacksonville.
Yeah, for Jacksonville. I 100% believe that we could see a coaching change.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this there. Let's say Jacksonville wins. How hot is that Jerod Mayo hot seat? I mean, they won the first game of the season. If they lose 6 straight, I mean, normally when things like this happen, like you could make a coaching change. I personally don't think Robert Kraft's going to be very patient with a 6-game losing streak. So how hot is that hot seat? Or am I just imagining things? I mean, you're the Patriots fan. You tell me.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. I mean, people say, well, it's year 1 to rebuild. Obviously give it to the second year. Obviously give him time to learn the offense, learn what it takes to be an NFL coach. I mean, he's obviously was a linebacker when he was here in New England back then. But I mean, nothing's guaranteed. I think he definitely, and if we definitely lose this week, he could potentially be on the hot seat. I mean, like I said, Robert Kraft is not really patient enough. He wants to get back to his winning ways, which I agree as well. I think we need to try to improve this season if we want to not only get better next year, but if we want to attract free agents to come here, I think we have to improve on last year. We have to win more than 4 games. I mean, if we can get to that 5-6 wins, I'd be happy with that. I think that shows promise. I just want to see the Patriots show promise before the year's over. Drake May continues to get more comfortable with the offense. I thought he looked good. But, I mean, like I said, you could say the same thing about Jacksonville, man. If they lose, I mean, I could see Doug Pearson being potentially gone. I mean, you know what I'm saying, lose to the Patriots. I mean, this is a game. I mean, both teams are 1-5. Both teams are going to be wanting to go out and play hard to try not to lose another game. So I think the Patriots, like I said, I think our offense with Drake May so far compared to what Jacksonville has been looking, I think our offense is slightly better in terms of we put up more points than they did. I mean, they put up 16 points against the Bears. I mean, no, it's a good defense, but with all that talent that Jacksonville Jaguars have on the offense, you should be able to put up more than 16 points. So, I mean, if the Patriots defense can just step up and be better, if our offense continues to show what we did yesterday, I mean, we can definitely game. That's for sure.
No, here's the thing. I really believe that the Patriots win this game. I think Peterson's fired. Like maybe he's not even allowed to board the team plane. They may send him on a different plane ticket home. I really believe that. I think that Jacksonville could make a move right after that London game. I think it's that serious. That's why I'm really looking forward to it. I just think that if Jacksonville wins, then I'm looking at Jerod Mayo as now he's on the hot seat, even though they are going through a rebuild, because I just don't see a 6-game losing streak being acceptable.
Yeah.
With what I think is still a top 10 defense. I mean, the defense is still really good. It's just that this offense it's been tough to watch, and Andre agrees. He doesn't have to change the channel every time a Pats game comes on. Thanks, Drake May. I love that. Mr. Grapefruit, what's up, brother? What's up, Dan and company? Would you cut the Jets defense, also own the Chargers defense for Sam Darnold if you owned Kyler Murray in fantasy? So I get what you're saying because the Chargers play the Chargers play the Cardinals on Monday night, and if you have Kyler Murray, do you also want to play the Chargers defense, or would you cut the Jets defense? Now, let me see here. The Jets defense.
Would you cut the Jets?
I'm a little confused here for Sam Darnold. Would you cut the Jets defense for Sam Darnold? So you have hold on. Let me see if I get this correct. You have the possibility of picking up Sam Darnold, and you own Kyler Murray already. If that's the case, then absolutely pick up Sam Darnold. Look at the weapons you have. You got Hawkinson coming back. Jordan Addison was out the first couple of days, first couple of games. You got arguably the best receiver in the National Football League. You can add Arnold today. By the way, let me ask you this, Keaton. I'm looking at next week's schedule. Now, obviously, for me, Chiefs, 49ers, but is the game of the week Detroit at Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. How could you say not? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you don't expected Minnesota to be where they were or be where they are and sit here undefeated. I mean, yeah, I mean that. I think honestly, it's going to come down. It's crazy. That division is insane.
I mean,
it's anybody's race, really.
I mean, I want to sit here and I want to trash Chicago because I'm not a Caleb Williams guy, but that defense is for real.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, and they're starting to figure out, hey, I got a good running back in DeAndre Swift. I got a rookie quarterback. Maybe I should run the damn ball. They're doing some good things in Chicago. I mean, they really are. Listen, Mr. Grapefruit, if you can add Darnold, I really recommend you do it. I mean, this is to me is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
As far as cutting the Jets defense in fantasy, I get that, but I'll be honest with you. It's hard when you own a defense and you're playing against the offense, but I'll level with you. If you cut Sam Darnold, I might play Darnold over Murray. And reason why is that I know Detroit just crushed. I want this next quick question I'm going to ask Keaton, by the way, but I know Detroit just crushed Dallas, but you did lose maybe defensive player of the year. Minnesota plays really, really good at home. I would not only would I pick up Darnold, I would start him. I would start him against the Lions. And I would just bench Kyler Murray. That said, I love having a player play on Monday night. I know he's at home, but keep your Chargers defense, start Sam Darnold. That would be my advice. That said, the Jets could be a good team to play against Pittsburgh. That's your call, but I'll be honest, I think Pittsburgh matches up pretty good against the Jets, but we'll see. But would I do this? Absolutely. Keaton, your thoughts here, man, because I'm looking at cutting the defense and adding Sam Darnold. I think that's a no-brainer. Am I wrong here? Or
no, I mean you're definitely right. I mean, like I said, especially the way Sam Darnold's been playing. I mean, you have to pick him up, especially you have Justin Jefferson, Addison still on that offense to work with. I mean, yeah. How could you not? I think that, like I said, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's like Jets defense is good, but it has its inconsistencies at times.
Yeah, since he's on the bye, the Jets play tonight. So you can play the Jets defense tonight. Oh, okay. Okay. Does this mean you lose your? If you already won your league, because if you have, who cares? But if you need points tonight, how many points do you need? I mean, if you need like 30 points, make this move, but add Darnold. By the way, Keaton Talks Sports guarantees that Darnold will put up at least 50 fantasy football points next week against the Lions. So, but he guarantees. I do want to talk about that. I want to talk about the Lions Cowboys here. Number one, what's the bigger story, that they won by 38 or that Aiden Hutchinson is out for the year?
Oh, that's confirmed. He's out for the year, because that's confirmed, right?
It's actually not confirmed. There's a chance he comes back for the playoffs. Look, it's October 14th. Look at that. Watch that. I don't want to get. My channel just got monetized not too long ago. I'm not going to play the clip, but if you haven't seen it, like
I've seen it. I just did. I was like, dang.
I'm like, it's mid-October. I mean, come on.
Yeah. He might be done for the year. I didn't think about it. I saw the play.
I'm just saying. I heard the surgery went well and they're optimistic.
That's a big blow, though.
I'm just saying it's mid-October. I mean, if this happened early September, I'm like, okay, yeah, but this is mid-October. I mean, I'm doing my week 7 video tomorrow. And by the way, check out my week 7 picks video. But I mean, do I see him coming back in 2.5 months? No, I don't. But it's not confirmed. I mean, it's not confirmed. I mean, let's say he comes back week 17, and I mean, I'm just saying. I saw that. I'm like, yeah, you're not playing this year. I mean, look, NFC Championship game comes around. Could he come back? Sure.
Good. Yeah.
Sure. But possible defensive player of the year, or is it a bigger story that they went down to Dallas and won by 38?
I mean, both really. I mean, let's be real. Like, I mean, listen. Last year, the Dallas Cowboys won. Was it 20-19? I believe it was 2019. It was like a low scoring game. Controversial call at the end, obviously. Detroit obviously wanted this win. I mean, this was a revenge game for them. You clearly showed in their play. Dallas had no answers. I mean, yeah, you think Dallas, they won last week at Pittsburgh. You would think they would come back home and take care of business.
Yeah,
I'm saying a lot of people had. Yeah. But I don't think anybody really expected 47-9, whatever it was. I mean, like, what happened to the Cowboys? Like, that was – see, this is the thing. Like, I look at the Dallas Cowboys. If you're talking about a team that's the most frauds, it's the Cowboys.
It's funny. I really looked at this as more of a story of Dallas falling apart than Detroit being a dominant team.
Yeah. But
no disrespect to Lions, but I mean,
losing Hutchinson definitely hurts, especially I mean, you say he's on the run for Defensive Player of the Year, so I mean, like, we'll see how the Lions defense holds without him on the field for whatever time he's gone. But yeah, they went down there and beat them badly. I was not expecting them to. I picked the Lions to win, but that would have been a closer game than 47-9.
No, I mean, it's funny because, like, yeah, I picked Dallas. Keaton picked the Lions, but still watch my picks video, even though I got that one wrong. It was funny because I was all excited to watch that game, but then I was like, okay, I got to watch these AFC West teams go at it, and then early on, it looked like I did see something I've never seen before in an NFL game between the Chargers and the Broncos, where Jim Harbaugh actually went into the medical tent at the very beginning of the game. I've never seen that before, but I watched that game. That was kind of a snoozer, and then I saw the final score. I wanted to watch Pittsburgh and Vegas, another snoozer. I actually spent most of my time in the evening game watching Atlanta and Carolina, and then Atlanta just turned it on offensively late. But
yeah.
I was really just hoping to see a good game, and Dallas just they're a disaster. I don't get why they let Pollard walk. Basically, it was finances.
Fine, yeah. Didn't have to cap.
Tennessee gave him a lot of money. Tennessee gave him a 3-year, $24 million deal. It's funny because they're letting Tennessee's paying Pollard more than Baltimore's paying Derrick Henry, and even though Pollard's playing pretty well, I mean, I personally think they should have kept Derrick Henry. That's just me. Andre, another great point. They desperately need Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence back.
Yep.
They're on a bye this week, and I think this is a perfect time for them to take a bye. But so when they come back week 8, they travel. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry, I was.
No, they come back week 8. They go to San Francisco for Sunday night. Talk about a nice 2-game stretch for San Francisco. You host Kansas City, and then you host Dallas fresh off of a bye. But let me ask you this here. I mean, is Dallas is this just a train wreck? Is this not going to be a playoff team? Or
I mean, their next 4. I mean, you just nailed it. I mean, their next 4 games is tough. I mean, you play the 49ers, and you have to play. You have to go to Atlanta, and then you have to play the Eagles. Like, that's a tough next 3 games, especially now you don't have your 2 best their 2 best guys on defense. Like, you need those guys back. So, I mean, like, Dallas has to stay in the race. I mean, because look what the Commanders are doing in that division. I mean, they surprised everyone. I was not expecting Washington to be here or to be sitting here 4-1. I thought they would be, like, somewhere under 500. I mean, you're talking about a rebuild, but that's not really a rebuild situation. I think Jay Daniels is in a great situation there in Washington. And you got the Eagles, who are still trying to figure things out. They beat the Browns by a few points, but they're still trying to figure things out with their identity and all that stuff. So, I mean, like, the Cowboys, like I said, they didn't really improve this offseason at all. And I just don't know. I just don't look at that team right now as a playoff. I don't think they're a playoff team. I said at the beginning of the year, I think they'll win like 8 games just because the inconsistency with they'll beat a good team like the Steelers on the road and they'll come back home and lay an egg at home. So it's like, how serious can we really take the Cowboys at this time?
So you heard it here from Keaton Talks Sports. The Cowboy season is officially over. So Bland.
They lose next 4, yeah.
Bland. There was talk about him maybe coming back after the bye. That's still up in the air. But yeah, he will help out. And then I have no idea the situation of Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, but I mean they got a couple tough games coming up. But I'll be honest with you, I really want to see what happens, because if they beat San Francisco, then everything's kind of forgiven. And the reason why I say that is that if you take a look at the NFC East, Philly's 3-2. Talent-wise, I think there's maybe the most talented team in the NFL, but you just beat Cleveland by 4. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you're at home, you beat Cleveland by 4. I mean, really? I mean, I'm looking at Washington at 4-2. Jaden Daniels, I predicted would be rookie of the year. I think he's in the right spot. I mean, they did play Baltimore pretty tough, but
yeah,
I'm not all in on the Commanders. I know the Giants lost, but that front seven's for real.
Yeah, they could have won that game if they would just. I mean, their offense just didn't really do much. I mean, the defense did what they could until the end of the game there. And, yeah.
I mean, I can make a strong case. If their kicker was a halfway decent kicker, maybe they don't go for it on 4th down 15 times or whatever they did, and maybe things could have been different. I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't check, but wouldn't be surprised if the Giants cut their kicker today, actually. But
yeah.
But you have an offensive line that's much improved. For the first time in several years, you have a decent offensive line in New York. The front seven's really, really good. You add Neighbors back into this offense. I mean, this is not a unwinnable division if you're Dallas. You get into the playoffs, you never know.
It's still wide open. I mean, I said the Eagles will win at the beginning of the year, but like looking at it right now, I mean, it's anyone's race.
It really could be. I mean, the NFC East is going to shape up to be a lot of fun. The NFC North is a lot of fun right now. I'm getting a kick out of the NFC South because Atlanta over the last couple of weeks is offensively has been a juggernaut. I like their secondary.
Yeah.
The Bucks have been impressive, man. 51.
Yeah, I know there's no Derek Carr, but like, geez. Talking about the offense having the day. That's.
I don't know. Did you watch or did you hear any about this game? Because here's the deal. I watched this game and Tampa jumps out 17-0. And then it's I think it was 27-7. And then next thing you know, it's 31-27. The Saints scored, I think it was like 27 points in the second quarter.
Yeah.
This game was a lot of fun, and then until late in the fourth quarter. But Spencer Rattler looked pretty good.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think he's going to be the future. I mean, like I said, who knows what the Saints decide to do? I think if they decide to move Derek Carr, whenever that will be, I think he'll definitely take over as the starting quarterback.
Seriously, I mean, the Saints are kind of in a weird situation because it looks like they have the future at their quarterback, at least after this week, even though it's a bad loss. But, I mean, you're 2-4. You have an aging team. You may need to just destroy everything on that team. It's a shame, but, I mean, there's some – the Saints have some players on defense. The defense is solid. I know they gave up 51, but, I mean, they have some players on defense. They can do some things. And it's just kind of a shame because, like, I could see them having a losing record and kind of needing to move on coach-wise, and they have to let go of a lot of players on defense that are over 30, unfortunately. But
yeah.
But I mean, I'm looking at the NFC. There's a lot of fun storylines. The NFC South was always that division where if you're 9-8 or 8-9, you can win that division. San Francisco's 3-3, and they played Kansas City, and then they traveled to Dallas. Like, is San Francisco going to win both of those games?
I don't see him beating. Well, I haven't made my prediction video yet, but like they're gonna want they're gonna want to beat the Chiefs, but I don't think they will. I think the Chiefs somehow own the 49ers just based off of the past two Super Bowls. Like that was their window to.
But I'm just pointing out that they got two tough games coming up of San Francisco, and they're 3-3. Listen to this. You're Seattle. You're 3-3. Listen to this. At Atlanta, home against Buffalo, home against the Rams. These are the two best teams in the NFC West. I mean, how tough is this, man?
It's a tough schedule. I mean, we look at Seattle. It's like they had a good first two games. I'm like, okay, they're building something here, and then they you lose to the Giants at home, then you lose to I know the 49ers have owned them the past couple of years, but geez, I mean, you talk about potential collapse. Like they got to figure out a way to get back on track. Or else
I kept on saying I wasn't sold on Seattle, but I mean I'm looking at this NFC West right now, and I said this earlier in the show, and I know I sound crazy, but with all the players that are coming back, I think the team that's going to win this division is going to be the Rams.
I didn't think about. Yeah, I mean they're injured right now, but like I think they're still better than 1-4. Like until they get everybody back, then if they're full strength,
okay. So they're on a bye this week. Okay, They come back next week. Cooper Kupp may come back. I think their offensive line comes back. Who do they play? I'm not going to ask you to ruin your whole video, but the Raiders come to town. They're not a good team. Like,
they're terrible.
I mean, so you're at a team that's getting healthy, and then you got to. I mean, if you're only one game back, and all of a sudden you get healthy. Mondo 9969 asks, who should I trade Aaron Jones for? Also, who should I look to trade Jordan Mason for? These are a couple of good questions. Okay. First off, you really need to trade both of these guys. And the reason why I say that is because Aaron Jones, I know he's banged up. So you're in a situation that you're going to sell low if you do trade them. And I always recommend you want to sell high. Okay. Also, Aaron Jones, I'm on ESPN right now. He's practicing. So I would be really questionable if you really want to trade this guy, because you got 3 down back who's probably going to play against the Lions at home. I mean, but let's just say you have to trade them. I mean, what options are you getting? I mean, this is a situation. I would not recommend trading Aaron Jones personally. With Jordan Mason, you're in the same boat. He's coming off an injury, so you're selling low. I would never recommend that. I will tell you this. I would not play him against Kansas City, not because I'm a Chiefs fan. If you go back and you look at what the Kansas City Chiefs have done against running backs this year, the player that had the best game against Kansas City was Derrick Henry, and it was 53 yards and a touchdown. No running back's done good against Kansas City. So you're selling low. I'm just giving you a heads up, man. These are 2 guys that I would not trade this week. Don't play Jordan Mason. And I would strongly suggest you keep Aaron Jones. But if you're going to trade, what offers are you getting?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and here's the deal: you're trading when they're at their lowest. I always recommend trading high, but let me know what offers are available. But if you got Aaron Jones, you got Jordan Mason. Don't play Jordan Mason, even if he's healthy. Hold on to Aaron Jones. Do me a favor, Mondo. Hold on to Aaron Jones until after he plays the Lions. Minnesota traditionally is very good at home. They're playing at home. This is going to be a fun game. He's practicing. I think he's going to have a decent game against the Lions. And if he does, then come to me next week. But I need a little more information. Do you have to make a trade now? Is there something going on? Denver Gator, what's up, nerds? I was so close to coming in hot and blowing up the chat. Both my teams lost this weekend. I would have been so obnoxious if they did win. Denver Gator, I know your Chiefs are on a bye, and also, your Florida Gators quarterback is out for the year. That's not a good thing, but yeah. Look, I'm going to tell you something. I had a good feeling the Chargers are going to win. Bo Nix didn't have a great game, but I'm telling you right now, I'm very impressed with what I've seen out of Bo Nix. You got something really good. So, let's be honest. You didn't really think you were going to compete with Kansas City this year, did you? I mean, you're giving Russell Wilson $47 million to hang out on the Steelers sideline. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But you got something you're building for the future. Keaton, you mentioned you're impressed with Drake May. I mean, look, he's not putting up the same numbers as Jaden Daniels. He doesn't have the highlight reels of Caleb Williams, but I'm going to be honest with you. I've been just as impressed with Bo Nix, maybe even more impressed than I have with these other two quarterbacks. I know that sounds insane, but
nah.
I want to hear your opinion of Bo Nix. Now, remember, Denver Gator. Don't be too hard on him, but let's get your opinion of Bo Nix so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I said. I mean, there's a lot of people that said before. I mean, him coming into the draft, like that he was going to be a bust, and I was like, bro, can we just like relax? Let's just see how he progresses throughout the season in the NFL. And so far, like I said, him and Sean or what was his name? Sean Payton. Is that his name?
Yeah, Sean Payton.
Okay, Sean Payton. Okay, I almost forgot his name. Sean Payton. Him and Sean Payton definitely work well together. I mean, you can tell Sean Payton, him and Bill Nix get along well together. They have the chemistry compared to what him and Russell Wilson had last year. That was just a disaster. But yeah, I mean, Bo Nix definitely he's getting more comfortable each week. Even I know he didn't have a good game yesterday, but like I said, I think this is something the Denver Broncos fans should be excited about going forward. Now, obviously, I mean, can they make the playoffs this year? We'll have to see about that. But I think it's just, more importantly, it's just the development of Bo Nix throughout the season, and maybe next year, once you continue to add more on offense. Defense is legit. Like I said before, defense is really good. I mean, to be able to go on the road to hold the Jets down to 9 points at their place was pretty damn impressive. And then go down to Tampa Bay. I was not expecting them to go down to Tampa Bay and beat them. But they went down there and they shut down a pretty solid offense in the Buccaneers. So, I mean, and I think the Broncos fans should be excited. I think the rest of the season, they should definitely they can have a lot to look forward to going forward. So I think Bo Nix is in a good spot. And like I said, I think the Broncos fans should be they should be excited for the future here.
I agree completely. I just wanted to get somebody's opinion, but me and Keaton are pretty much just dead set on. Andre, do I know anything about the new coach for the Jets? I actually watched Jeff Your Brick or Your Bright. I'm showing my age a little bit, but I actually remember him playing for the 49ers. That's how old I am. This is the guy who's been the defensive coordinator with the Jets for the last couple of years. So here's what I'm looking at, and Keaton, he's an AFC East guy, so he'll have some insight as well. Here's the drill. I mean, you have the defensive coordinator for the last couple of years. Jets have one of the best defenses, so you're not going to see any changes defensively. Mm-hmm. What's one of the first things he did? He took play calling duties away from Nathaniel Hackett. And my thought process is that you passed the ball 54 weeks, you fired the head coach, you take play calling duties away from the offensive coordinator and put him into Todd Downing. Now, Todd Downing was the offensive coordinator with the Titans when they had Derrick Henry. You know what they did? They ran the football. So what do I expect? Nothing changes defensively. You're switching play calling from a guy who threw the ball 54 times, then that caused the coach to change. You replace him with a guy that runs the ball. So more than likely, what I'm seeing is something you'll probably see like a more conservative play calling. And this type of move indicates that he's a defensive guy. Normally defensive guys like to play, old school kind of run the ball, win with defense. So that's kind of my thought process there. I mean, this is first time. I'm going to level with you because he's not a big name and he's not been a head coach before. After the season's over, unless he goes undefeated and wins a Super Bowl or something, the Jets are going to get somebody else. But this is a nice addition, defensive-minded guy. And just from the moves that he's made, I'm guessing you're going to see much more conservative, defensive-minded football going forward. Keaton, what do you know about Jeff? Are you bright, or what have you? I know you didn't watch him play. You're a little younger than I am, but I know you didn't watch him play. But I actually remember watching him play as a 49ers linebacker. So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I think taking the play calling duties away from Nathaniel Hackett was a smart move. I mean, it was clearly evident. The play calling was atrocious. You seen players on the Jets, especially on offense, getting frustrated because they weren't able to move the ball efficiently down the field, especially against the Vikings. And they also had a chance to win that game. But at the end of the day, like I said, we don't know. I mean, him being in his first head coach here. I mean, obviously, I don't think he's going to be the long-term solution at that position. I think, honestly, if I'm being real with you, I think Mike Vrabel will be a good fit there in New York. Just based on what you said, they have a solid defense. Mike Vrabel, when he was at Tennessee with Derrick Henry, run the football, play solid defense. I think if you get Mike Vrabel there, in my opinion, I think that would be a solid fit because the Jets, like I said, solid defense. If you can get ahead on teams, then you can really key in defensively and be able to milk that clock. I think that's what the Jets, that should be their new scheme going forward, in my opinion, because you can't make Aaron Rodgers, like I said, Aaron Rodgers can pass the ball and all that, but you can't make him pass the ball that many times and expect to be effective. You got to be able to be balanced and throw in some running plays in there. So I think, like I said, Mike Vrabel would definitely be a good fit, but like I said, I don't really know much about Ulbrich, whatever his name is. So we'll just have to wait and see. So it'll be interesting.
The business circuit has a good fantasy football question. You picked the right time because you're going to get two guys. Plus, you got some really good people in the chat still. So you're going to get some variety of opinions here. 8-man PPR. Kyler Murray, Mason Henry, Marvin Harrison Jr., Debo McBride, Connor, and J-Mo. Your bench is Josh Downs, Douglas, Dak, A-Chain, Puka. Should I make the Henry for CD and Cup and Love move with this roster? Hold on. Let me double check, see if you don't have any other, because I wanna make sure I understand this correctly. You can trade Derrick Henry for CD Lamb, Cooper Kupp, and Jordan Love. I just want to make sure I understand correctly, because if you can do that, I 100% encourage you to do that. But you have to understand something, that if you make that move, you have to fix your running back position, because I don't know what to expect with A-Chain. Jordan Mason has that AC joint. I expect him to play against Kansas City. I don't think he'll have a good game. You got Connor, but you're. And here's a drill. You've got some receivers already, but I would make this move because I think CeeDee Lamb's going to put up some points. Jordan Love or Dak. From there you could actually have some fun, because you got. I would start Love, by the way, over Kyler Murray next week. Just FYI, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna double check here. I just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, listen, they're playing at home against Houston. Fun game, by the way. But I like that matchup a lot more than I like Kyler Murray against the Chargers defense. But here's the deal with Kyler Murray, Dak, and Jordan Love. You have to make another move, right? But would I get CD Lamb, Cooper Kupp, and Jordan Love for Derrick Henry? Yes, I would make this move, but you have to make another move right after you make this one and add a running back. But I would do this. Keaton, am I nuts? Because Derrick Henry might be the NFL MVP. He's putting up these ridiculous numbers. Do you make a move for CD Lamb, Coop, and Jordan Love, or am I nuts?
I don't think you're not. Like I said, Derrick Henry is, so far he's the best running back, or one of the best running backs in the league, just the way he's been playing. He's going to get CeeDee Lamb and Cooper Kupp and Love for Henry, right?
Derrick Henry, yeah. Dude, I understand getting rid of Derrick Henry is a bold move and a big trade, but I'm just telling you, I would do it
Yeah,
but I would make here's the deal though. I have no confidence that Achane's going to put up anything. You got Mason, so now you have to find you got to get, because of those two guys, you have some uncertainty there. I've been saying this for a while. Like Connor's going to lose touches. Like they need to. Trey Benson's going to get more involved, and I don't like the Connor matchup against it. With the Chargers defense is playing really, really good, so you need to find another running back. But here's the drill: you with this trade, because this is a 3-for-1 trade. So right after you make this trade, you got to make another trade. But here's the deal: somebody's going to pick up Dak or Kyler or Jordan Love. I'm going to level with you. What I would do is I would make this trade. By the way, Dak and CD, that's a lot of fun. I would try to move Kyler Murray and somebody else and try to upgrade your running back position immediately. So like make the move, and then you got to get back to work again. But I would do this. Keep in mind, you got some more work to do after you make this trade. Good luck in business circuit. Stay in touch with me. Let me know if you. By the way, it's a ballsy move if you do it. I wouldn't blame you if you said, "No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep my points with Derrick Henry." But I'm actually really glad that Rhino's Roundtable's here, because I wanted to ask about this. ESPN is reporting that Anthony Richardson is going to be back at the starting quarterback position. And Rhino's Roundtable is sick of Flacco starting and putting up numbers and winning games. Keaton, Anthony Richardson's going to start against the Dolphins, and Flacco's going back to the bench. Good move?
That's tough. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what the Colts, like, what they want to do in terms of, like, are they trying to win? Like, do you label them as a potential Super Bowl threat? I mean, I don't know. I think it's just one of those teams that's just like, I don't know. They kind of remind me a little bit of like the Saints kind of deal. Like they're kind of like in that middle of the pack type team that's like you know what I'm saying? They're kind of a middle pack team. I don't know what type of team they want to be. Like, do you start? Like, I think if you're trying to win consistently, like I said, I think Flacco gives you that edge just based off of his experience and what he's done. Like I said, with the Browns, taking them to the playoffs last year. I think the Browns definitely regretting letting him go. You know, Anthony Richardson, like I've been saying the past couple shows, like best ability is availability. So it's like, how consistent can Anthony Richardson stay on the football field? Now, Richardson does give you that, you know, explosiveness in terms of throwing the ball down the field, making splash plays. But Flacco, if we're trying to win games, he's going to make that right play. Richardson, like I said, he's got to be able to stay on the football field. That's my only concern with him. But, like, Anthony Richardson, like I said, if he's healthy, we know what he can be. I know what he can be. But it's just, like I said, it's just going to be a matter of, you know, can he stay on the football field?
You know, Rhino's Roundtable, I don't know why you're tired of watching Flacco, because if I'm the Colts, this is a no-brainer. You bench Anthony Richardson, and then you just try to get him like a few snaps a game, like, you know, 3rd and 1, have him, you know, run the ball.
That's a big deal. Yeah, that's what I would do.
And that's what I would do, is that I would have him integrated into the offense. But I think you start Flacco for the rest of the year, and you have a shot. I mean, I seriously think, here's the deal: you're not as good as Houston. You're not winning the division. Can you get into the playoffs with Flacco? Yes. Can you get into the playoffs with Anthony Richardson? No.
Yeah.
And he's not going to stay healthy. Learn behind Flacco and, you know, build for 2025. I think it's a massive mistake to start him against Miami.
Yeah. I mean, to his point, I know you say he's tired of seeing Flacco out there, but, like, if I were you, I would probably be tired of seeing Anthony Richardson get hurt.
I would be tired of that too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, so. Exactly. By the way, listen, Adrian, thanks for joining, man. We need more Seahawks fans in here.
Seahawks.
So that's pretty cool. You're aware Pacheco is out for like another 2 months. So absolutely not. Do not drop Moss and pick up Pacheco. Pacheco's out.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
No. By the way, I can understand you're not happy with Moss. Do not drop him for a guy that's not playing maybe till January. So Denver Gator says, didn't think I could compete with Kinsey. Nix isn't the issue. Or wide receivers are last in the league in last in the league in separation. Okay, last in the league in separation. Online getting, yeah. I like what May brings to the table. I'm gonna level with you. If I'm not happy with Jared Mayo, remember the Vikings were trying to trade up for Drake May. You have Wes Phillips, who is the offensive coordinator there in Minnesota. He's going to get some love as a head coaching candidate. Here, I'm going to throw this out there. Jared Mayo isn't the guy, and you move on. Wes Phillips, the offensive coordinator. I forget the name of the quarterback coach, former NFL quarterback. He'll come to me right after the show's over. He was Drake May's high school coach, and he's now a quarterback coach with the Vikings. That was the whole reason why they were trying to trade up to get Drake May in the first place. If things don't work out with Jared Mayo, I would hire Wes Phillips as my head coach, and I would bring in the former NFL quarterback to be the new offensive coordinator in New England and say, hey, you guys wanted Drake May in Minnesota, come here and be his head coach. But yeah, I was high on him. I would have liked to see him sit more, but Jacoby Brissett was just getting the crap beat out of him, and you're not seeing anything. But if they lose to Jacksonville, I think you know, if I would secretly reach out to Wes Phillips. By the way, that would violate the tampering rules, but you know, you don't want to get in trouble with that. I mean, but yeah, you did make up a word. Yeah, Surtain got knocked out. Ideally, knock on wood, it's not that severe. But yeah, I watched that, and it was just I didn't want to bring it up Denver Gate. I didn't want to bring up any. You know, I feel bad for that. So trade Henry for seed. Yeah. I seriously, and then you got the right idea. Yeah, you could package those two for a running back. And by the way, yeah.
Absolutely.
And here's the deal. Like, I mean, I know they didn't produce, but once you get CD Lamb, you get CD Lamb and Dak in another game, you're going to just double stack, and then the rest of your team's pretty solid. Keep business circuit, stay in touch with me. Let me know what you do. But we all agree that you should do that. Rhinos Roundtable, I think the Colts issue is we don't have an identity. We don't stand out in any category, just plain Jane. Even with Flacco, we're not going to playoffs. Good points. Just tired seeing the AR. Here's the deal. I think with Flacco, you're a wild card team. Now, let me rephrase that. Jonathan Taylor comes back and he's healthy. Michael Pittman's healthy. You keep utilizing Josh Downs. I mean, you have to fix some stuff defensively, but even if you don't, and your defense can just get a little healthy, you're a wild card team. Once you get in the playoffs, anything could happen. I think with Anthony Richardson, you're not a playoff team, period.
Mm-hmm. Like, unless he stays healthy. And the same thing with Jonathan Taylor too. Like, you don't know where you're going to get.
Yeah, Taylor's health's an issue, but I mean, you got some question marks. So, but listen, man, we got 3 hours in the books here. Keaton from Keaton Talks Sports has 5 dates lined up for tonight, so we gotta tighten things up here. Who should I target if I was going to trade? Well, first of all, if you do make this trade, this is an interesting package. What you would have to do is that you have to find a trade partner. You're in an 8-man league. So, if you have the ability to hold off on this trade for a little bit, I would target who needs a quarterback and who might be interested in Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know your league, but I have a buddy who's been a longtime guest of the show, Corey, a.k.a. the Red Sea. Well, he's a big Cardinals fan. Obviously, you may be able to get more value. But basically, in an 8-man league, you're going to have to figure out which one needs a quarterback because you'll have Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, and Dak Prescott. Somebody on your team, somebody in your league's going to need a quarterback and might be able to give you a running back. But who should you target if you were to trade? I like Breece Hall going forward, but he hasn't really been productive. If he has a big game tonight, he's going to be harder to get a hold of. I mean, I'm a big James Cook fan. Same situation. I don't even think he's doubtful tonight. He may not play tonight, and this might be a situation where if he doesn't play, you might be able to pick him up. That would be somebody, Kyron Williams of the Rams, whose value I think is going to go way up. I don't know when Nick Chubb's coming back to Cleveland. How much? By the way, you could get him for a lot less than Kyler Murray. That might be interesting. Keaton boy Ramondre Stevenson might be a guy to consider.
Could, yeah. I mean, he didn't play last week.
No, he might be somebody interesting. Chuba Hubbard's a guy that's been wildly productive. That another guy that, since he's not a big name, but he's been wildly productive. I would kind of target him because somebody in your league may have him and just not really like him that much. And Kyler Murray's a bigger name. A lot of questions. Not really giving you a definite answer, but hopefully, he's out.
He's out.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that might be the guy you want to target because going forward, he is going to be number one guy. Of course, since he's out, you may want to question his durability, but that's kind of where we're at. Look, my week 7 picks video is coming out tomorrow. I'll be live same time tomorrow for 3 more hours of afternoon delight. Someone wanted A-Chain for Garrett Wilson. I'm not really high on A-Chain because I really think that with Mostert coming back, I think his touches are going to go way down. That's just my opinion. I think Garrett Wilson would be a nice pickup, even though I do expect the Jets to be a little more conservative.
Yeah.
Before we end the show here, Keaton, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me on. As always good coming on your show every week, every Monday. Probably have my video out Wednesday. I haven't made it yet, but it'll be out Wednesday, probably sometime in the evening. So just keep your eyes on that. I'm just looking forward to another week. It was obviously a great week in terms of picks for me. So hopefully I can keep this trend going because I definitely needed it because the first couple of weeks they've been kind of average. But this week it was definitely a good week. So hopefully
Keaton's rubbing it in. They did better than I did this week. And
did you wait? I thought we had the same.
You know what? I haven't gone back. I haven't gone and counted up everything, but I do know that I had Jacksonville, I had Dallas. I also had the Giants. So
I have like 2. Okay, so like we're probably
you got me beat this week, which thanks for rubbing that in. That's how Keaton ends the show, by rubbing it in. They did.
No.
By the way, business circuit. If he's interested in A-Chain, I would try to offer that move straight up. He's going to counter ideally, and if he does, then pick him up. But I would definitely recommend making this move first and then going ahead and do this. So one more question. Ty Johnson or Ray Rice since Cook's out. I have no idea what Buffalo's going to do. I will say this. I'm a huge Ray Davis fan. I love Ray Davis. It's a great story, massive upside. So here's the deal. I'm guessing you need some points tonight. All right. Ty Johnson's probably going to get the start. All right. Ty Johnson's going to have the higher floor. Ray Davis has the higher ceiling. It depends on how many points you need. It really depends on how many points you need. If you need to get a lot, I would go with Ray Davis. If you need to get a little bit, I would go with Ty Johnson. hopefully that answers your question. Keaton, your thoughts on here? He says Ray Davis.
I mean, Ty Johnson, like say you're going up against, I mean, the Jets defense is pretty solid. I don't know how many rushing yards you're going to have.
Man. Yeah, you're going against a good defense. I'll be honest with you. In this matchup, I would not be surprised Josh Allen leads the team in rushing for tonight. That's probably your leading rusher is going to be Josh Allen, even though he's got banged up hand and a concussion last week that they didn't talk about. But he's probably going to lead the team in rushing.
I don't see many points scored tonight.
No. Neither guy's going to get a lot. Neither guy's getting a lot. If you're down by a lot, go with Ray Davis. You're down by a little, I would recommend Ty Johnson. But you got a tough matchup. Sam, let me know what happens because we got to end the show. Please come back tomorrow. Guys, have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow.